Hey guys, so I wanted to kind of try to introduce this channel, this new writing channel that I'm trying to start. So I kind of want to just like introduce myself and what the goal is of the channel that I've been kind of kicking around in the back of my head for a few days, a few weeks. Um, so I guess I'll start with who I am. I'm Ryan. I'm a My background's chemistry. I've been doing it since 2015, so about 11 years. I got a job in the oil and gas industry as a. I work as like a technical representative for a chemical company. So as you might can maybe like like gas is like I probably am more of a technical writer versus like a creative writer. But I've dabbled in creative writing for like, off and on for a little bit longer than that. But I would say collectively, I have far less actual, like the physical writing experience. I could say I've been writing for, that would be like what, 14 years or whatever. But it's not really an accurate statement. It'd be more like I've really only been like taking it seriously for maybe like the past 5 years. I got like a single draft of a novel that I started, and I didn't like the way it turned out. So I was like, well, that was good. I got something done. And now I'm kind of in the process of reworking the idea and getting it together, but also like stretching my muscles a little bit, trying to kind of exercise different skills. And so the more that I've done that over these past few days, the more little things that I've found and little theories that I've kind of come up with that I feel like I would like to share with people, but also like I'm at a point in my writing where I want to share the writing with people and then get feedback and start to have peers and like one of my main goals for the channel is to start to have a community of at least you know honestly if I could just get one or two people, that'd be great. I'd be happy with that. To like just share exchange writing. That way we could get better together and kind of like not necessarily give each other like the generic prescriptive advice that you would find on a lot of like self-help books or whatever, which is not bad stuff. It's just I feel like being analytical in nature, I kind of want more of a deeper understanding of something, and not necessarily deeper in the sense that like it needs to be like this complex idea needs to be solved, but more or less like what is the like most basic component of this idea? Because there's so many things to learn when it comes to writing, and they're kind of all scattered, like here, down there, and the funny thing is like the more that I'm practicing and the more that I'm writing, the more that I see this little web start to kind of connect, and I'm like, oh, I wonder, can this idea or this thing help me kind of diagnose why it's so hard to have an idea? Well, the actual idea itself is the easy part. You can have an idea just like float in your brain. And you're like, oh my god, that's an amazing idea, but then like you go to start writing it and you sit there and you're like, what the heck? I can't figure it out. Like what words do I put there? Like where do I start? Um, and I kind of got past that point. Obviously I wrote a first draft of a novel, so I managed to get from like a start, middle, and end. Was it good? Not probably not. Too many characters, too many POVs, too many things going on. I'm kind of like right now in a hybrid realm of horror slash fantasy slash. I do like some of that like literary fiction, but I would say less that. But you know, it's just something that I'd like to share, and I'm like at a point where I'm kind of just tired of like hoarding writing to myself and just like feeling stagnant and just really wanting to like branch out and try to like really expose the sores and let somebody kind of rub some salt in it. I don't want people to like, like berate me or anything like that. But like just kind of give me a general like some guidance, I guess, and then like vice versa. Like there's things that I feel like I'm good at that I could probably help other people, get better at. Naturally everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. It's more or less just trying to like expose like the excellent, the good, the bad, and then the completely horrible, ugly. So that's kind of like the goal. I kind of want to share, like, I think the way that I want to structure it is like, I want to start with the idea coming in the brain. Like, the idea itself and like how that culminates into like a feeling of something like grand, and then you want to like share that. And like, there's this huge wide gap from that point to actually writing it and actually getting the experience to kind of like build a little bridge between the heightened grandeur emotional idea to the actual physical concrete writing. So my main focus at the beginning of the channel is going to be this idea of taking what I've heard a lot of people talk about, which I never really understood before, is like abstract and trying to make it concrete. Obviously, I know that you kind of have to have a little bit of both here and there, and that's what kind of makes a skilled writer, like a more experienced writer, more noticeable than somebody like me who's more of an amateur. But you know, I think if I could just like kind of like learn, and look at the meat and potatoes of everything and try to like diagnose like, hey, this is why writer's block is happening because of this. And if I can, like instead of like just saying like, hey, writer's block's this nebulous thing, try to drink some coffee or go run. That might help you like jog your, get your endorphin running or get you stimulated. Like I kind of want to just like understand the concept of it from like a very, very, very basic level. And also like, going back to like, I want to start a Discord with people and peers that they can feel safe enough to share all of their writing. I feel like if you are in a place where you're brave enough to share something personal, then you should do it. Because that's what I've been, struggling with is like, I don't want to share it because, I don't want to get my feelings hurt. But at the same time, you kind of got to just grow that thick skin and just start to just do it because you're never going to get better. Like, you're never going to learn. You're never going to understand. You're always going to keep kind of writing the same thing over and over and over. It's like beating your head against a brick wall. So, that's kind of the idea of the WriterRyan channel. An analytical take on writing creatively. It's kind of like a contradictory statement. But, so I kind of just, wanted to introduce myself, introduce the channel, talk about my goals with it, talk about what I really what I want to get out of it and what I want to give people from it. So anyway, if y'all have any ideas on anything that you would like, to talk about too, or if you want to kind of start talking about starting a Discord or whatever, feel free to leave comments. I might have to like make an email or something because this is kind of my first foray into all this nonsense of YouTube, so I don't really know much about it. I'm kind of like one of those young people that are not that technically savvy, so like I barely know how to function this microphone and the camera and the lighting. So, I'm an amateur at everything, I guess. I am good at chemistry. Well, some of the chemistry. I don't quiz me, please. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope that y'all continue to watch and grow with me. So we'll see you later.